Hey folks, how's it going today? What I wanted to do is just kind of cover this has been a comment or more of a local conversation that's come up a lot between friends and stuff, but um, as you guys know or should know by now, I quit my job and now I'm going to be moving into a completely different career in basically YouTube creation, media creation, and e-commerce. So I've been doing e-commerce for 3 years with AwesomeDrinks.com, and it continues to grow. It's most of the money is being reinvested into itself, or to get rid of tasks like bookkeeping and pay somebody else to do that. The the rest of us, the rest of the stuff is the show, what you guys typically know about. But everybody keeps asking me now that I've retired from my real job, what am I going to do with all my free time? I've heard everything for free time, or what are you going to be doing now that you don't have a real job, and blah blah blah. People seem to not, and I don't publicize it too much because it doesn't really make a lot of sense. It's probably confusing. Is how much effort I put into the show on a daily basis. My Ian and Jennifer and everybody knows around here, but I spend a lot of time doing the cocktail show and Awesome Drinks through the weekends, nights, weekends, whatever it happens to be. So all I'm really doing is aligning myself to be able to put more effort into doing things contiguously. And what I mean by that is to clean this downstairs takes me about a week and a half. To stock inventory takes me almost a month. Some of the product photos that I have for new items in the store take me a month and a half to get done. And it might only be one or two things because I'm multitasking so many things during my free time. And mentally, having to deal with a real job, which has me working at home a lot and whatnot, I'm just pulled in every direction so I can focus a little bit. So what I'm going to be doing in that free time is, well, for instance, Monday through Friday and on Sunday, we pack orders. So I've been helping a lot more with that than what I did in the past because I had hired help to do it. And then they went away and my wife was doing it, and then I was helping out when I had a couple minutes in the morning. So between anywhere from 9 to 11, we're typically packing orders. We have to get them all scheduled for USPS to be out the door before they show up, which is random, anywhere from like 10 to 3. FedEx shows up at 3, so we have everything done and organized for that, usually by 11. And then my Mondays are going to consist of inventory of the store, stocking things up, figuring out what we don't have in inventory, putting in those orders, making sure that I have the right items so I don't run out of stock like happens from time to time now because I'm just kind of multitasking everything and I drop a lot. So it's kind of like juggling a million balls. If you could just juggle 3 really well, it works a lot better. I have 3 or 4 different business endeavors. I have 2 physical LLCs, 2 limited liability companies that I run. I have Bitstream TV, which is AwesomeDrinks.com, the parent name for it. And I have Trollspank Studios, which does all of our media. That includes everything Common Man Cocktails, new work I'm picking up from Tales of the Cocktail to help them do editing, work what I've done at the dojo, things I've done for football teams and the local football teams my son's on. And Trollspank.com has all the kind of stuff we've done. And that's kind of part of Common Man Cocktails, but there's a little bit more involved. I run websites for the dojo. I run websites for the Germanica Society in New Hampshire. And I've got to build mailboxes, keep everything up to date, stop hacking when that occurs. So there's a lot of other balls that don't involve anything you guys would see on the show. So my Mondays are really going to be inventory, the final video edits for the week. We start editing on Sunday night, so I'll do that tonight. And then on Monday, I'll finish that up. Then Tuesday, hopefully. And then Tuesday, we move in. We're still packing our orders, but I also have to do the new product shots. So I have some time to do some of the product shots. If I don't have those, I don't have to do that day. But I still have to create. I want to do all of our cocktail recipes starting on Tuesday and have an idea what we're going to do for Friday, preparing in advance, which means I can cover a lot more cocktail creations than I could before. If you throw weird curveballs at me, like muddle this with that and the other thing, sometimes I don't have that stuff available when I'm getting the prep done on a Friday night right before the show. So I can't do those. So it gives me a little time to prepare and maybe build some other recipes in or take some things that are trending or look at what's coming out. Is it Easter? Is it Mother's Day? Should we be doing cocktails around that? And plan that in advance. I also have another show called The Craft Cocktail, which we'll be releasing eventually, which was 30 episodes that are all focused on vodka. The next 30 will be on something else. And those will be a pay-for series, similar to what you do for Netflix. They're all going to come out at once. You buy it, and then you can watch all the shows. It'll be on their own website. It's got its own mobile app. Well, not an app, but mobile looking websites so that you can read them from your phone and show bartenders if you say, I want to create a Madras. How do I do that? And that's another property that's coming out that we've been developing. We've been shooting it for a couple weeks since January, every few weeks. I've been editing them, but it takes a lot of time to edit because there's a lot more edit time done in those videos. So that gives me more time to focus on that. On top of that, that's kind of priority 2. Priority 1 right now is going to be handling Jennifer's cocktail menu website that she's designing for people to be able to download these $4 PDFs that have all of her custom cocktails that she's designed from scratch. And then I want to create another version of that with 15 custom cocktails that are ones that the show has done, Common Man Cocktails, that both Doug likes, I like, Ian likes, Jennifer likes. Maybe I'll get some Curtis cocktail suggestions to put in there and say, this is the team's top 15 cocktails freely able to download from Jennifer's website. And while you're there, you can pick up her other recipe menu books and purchase those. So it's a kind of a cross promotion between the two. And that's going to be a little bit easier because I've still got to design the website, do the shopping cart, and do all that. But she's been doing the books, so I'm just going to do the forwards and some of the graphics and stuff around that. So it's another task that's going to get done before my craft cocktail series is really wrapped up. And then on Wednesdays, I've got recipe designs. I've got to do some short episodes for Facebook. I want to promote some more stuff on Instagram. I've got this all, I mean, if you want to just have an idea what I'm talking about, this is my week breakdown, right? Every part of the day. General video edits, recycling and trash is broken down in here because I need to have this stuff all cleaned up around here so that I can get the trash out on time. Otherwise, I end up with a lot of spare boxes. Wednesday, a little bit of Thursday, and some of Tuesday is going to be R&D. And what I mean by that is, what am I going to need to do over the next course of the next months to produce specific content? I want to make some bitter infusions. Well, I've got some bitter stuff I need to work on, but if I don't start working on it now, the infusion time is 3 weeks plus. If it comes out crappy, I got to start over. That's another 3 weeks. So there's a lot of learning involved. So that's part of the middle of the week, is trying to research what works for bitter infusions. What can we do for ice tempering? What type of videos can we do that are value add, that aren't just cocktails, but things more science to make you guys better at creating cocktails, me better at creating cocktails. The clear ice was a big initiative, and we're going to keep pushing forward with a lot more on the ice. Maybe I'll do a whole series on garnishes, but I need to learn a lot of that and get some techniques from pros and to be able to create those videos, and that takes time. So that's kind of the middle of the week area. I also need to do product trends. What's the next trendy product? See if I can figure it out, because those are the products that really blow up. And those are the ones I get the 200, 300,000 views on that carry the show through to the next year, and sometimes 2. Benique's been out there for 3 years, and it's still hammering the views. And that's my cash train, if you will, for the rest of the show. So if I create 30 recipes this month, if each of them gets under 2,000 views, I'm not making any money. So I need to find those cash cows that I can use to say, that's the one that's going to make me money. And that takes research. So some of Thursday is going to be for research. Every day I want to nail some of my high priority tasks. I have a lot of them, and it'll keep rotating in and out. For instance, I need to invoice some companies. I need to do an Awesome Drinks newsletter. I need to call my doctor about my insurance issues. I've got vlogging videos I want to start doing. I've got to work on some Patreon videos for the patrons so that we can continue to push out Patreon stuff. I'll be doing that on Wednesday and Thursday as well, to produce content for Patreon specifically for people like Paul, who just recently started donating $5 a month. I want to give them value above and beyond what they're already expecting to get from the show. So Thursday is going to be a little bit around that, on top of pipeline building for sponsors. I need to find new sponsors. I need to push out my pricing and say, hey, this is the show. This is what you're looking at. This is what we should do. Get on conference calls with them. Talk about the product. I usually have 1 or 2 conference calls a week or more, just with PR firms and stuff, to talk about Common Man Cocktails and spread what we're doing, who our audience is, and why they should pay me to produce content like TGI Fridays, or hopefully in the future like a Vaportini video. Fridays, that's the shoot day. So everything has to be prepped for Friday. Cleaned, everything needs to be cleaned up and ready to go for Friday night when Ian gets here so we can tape. Also, during the day on Friday when I'm handling some of these onesie-twosie priority tasks, I want to also optimize and start running some better control over my hardware so that I can make sure that rendering is happening quickly. Clean up disks, defrag disks, run whatever I have to for backups, work on some cloud backup solutions for catastrophes. IT type stuff around all of that. Of course, and then at the end, I still have to pay invoices for the store. So I'm back on to the store side. What are my invoices? Who do I owe? Is it being paid? Am I late on anything? Do I have any FedEx orders that broke? Do I have to report them and get claims in there? So a lot of that juggling between the middle of the week, but at the end of the week, I want to make sure I button up everything for the week and can call it good. The beginning of the week, I'll start doing my orders. So I should have inventory arriving, and then I can start paying those inventory from 2 weeks prior or 15 days prior on that Friday. So it's a big cyclical process. At no point will I really be sitting around. There's just no time. I don't got any time to sit around. I need to make money. If I don't get sponsors on board for Common Man Cocktails, I'm going to have a hard time paying my bills. So I got to build that pipeline now because I've got probably a 2-month window before I have to start dipping into my savings. And for the first 5 weeks, I've got all my paid vacation I never got to use at work that paid me out. And I got a big lump sum check, and I need to use that check to be able to pay insurance, mortgage, and everything else throughout the next couple of months so that I don't have to start dipping into savings. And that means more sponsors, more sales at Awesome Drinks. I've got conference calls with folks from some ad roll companies to be able to retarget ads for Awesome Drinks. I need to take a couple hours at least to go through my AdWords to make sure I'm targeting everything right and I'm paying the right amount, sometimes more aggressively, sometimes less. So there's the e-commerce hat, then there's the media hat, and I've got to wear them both pretty much at the same time. And when I'm not doing all of that, I'm thinking about it. And when I'm not thinking about it, I'm not doing all of that, I'm probably commenting to people. If you want to see what's kind of happening day to day, I have youtube.com/Derrick Schommer, where I'm going to be posting kind of like my vlogs about a career in media creation like this and documenting my way through it. Also, if you have Snapchat, I'm going to put my Snapchat information up here. You could friend me on Snapchat, and I'll just be doing whatever comes to mind during the day as I'm working. And I want to be more active on that, and that's been a challenge that I'm going to solve. Instagram, same thing. I want to be able to solve other areas of media. Facebook, I've been working on a lot. I need to start branching out a little bit. So that's a little bit, just a little glimpse into my life and what I have to do when I'm sitting here retired from my real job. It's not really going to be necessarily just we're just going to sit here and watch Adventure Time. There's going to be work involved, and I got to nail off everything on this list, and I need to do all of that within a couple weeks so I can build this list again with a bunch of new stuff so I can make you more value for you guys when you watch the show. All right, so there you go. That is the new life of Derrick Schommer and Common Man Cocktails. If you'd like to help, you can always go to patreon.com/CMC and help me alleviate some of the stress involved with making money by giving a small amount each month to help us bring you more value. All right, that's it. Have a good day, guys.